Hey folks, Pat here from DNS, and this Madison area fishing report is current as of Friday, April 25th. Happy Friday, everybody. We made it through another week. I hope you all had a good one. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about, so we'll just get right into it. The biggest news to me, anyway, is this giant yellow bass. For those of you that don't know, a yellow bass is typically smaller than a white bass. I'd say, a big yellow bass would be like 10 inches. A huge one would be like 12 inches. This one's 16 and a half inches, 2.86 pounds, and was caught by Byron Misuk. Sorry if I butchered your name there, Byron, on Lake Mendota on Wednesday. Um, He's out here. You can see in the background, he's out at the DNR office in this picture. Thanks to Tim Parks, fish biologist, sent me this photo. But once the paperwork goes through, this will be the new state record yellow bass. So that's very exciting. It's interesting. It was caught on Lake Mendota. I guess if I was going to pick a lake to target yellow bass on, Mendota would probably be at the bottom of my list as far as lakes on the chain here go. But apparently there's some giants out there. And congrats to Byron on an awesome catch. And I just thought that'd be a great way to start a report, get you stoked to get out there and do some fishing. Other news, the muskies are jumping down at the Lake Winger Dam. You can see this super cool footage on today's Angler on Instagram. That's Lee Tauken and them. But yeah, you can see this muskie just propelling itself out of the water. You're not every fish is going to jump like that, but anyway, it's cool footage. I think it's from last year, but the muskies are down there now, so I wanted to let people know about that. It's super cool to go down there and check it out. No fishing for them. It's all closed as a refuge, but yeah, you can go down there and check some cool fish out for sure. Thanks to Trout Unlimited on Earth Day. I hope you all had a good Earth Day. That was on Tuesday. They had a bunch of elementary kids out to Gordon Creek helping plant some oak trees out there. They plant the oak trees to provide shade for the creek and help keep it cool. And the kids, put the trees in and watered them. They had a bucket brigade going, and I'm sure a lot of antics going on there too. But they also had Justin Hagland out there, DNR fish biologist, great guy, great biologist, and they did a fish shocking for the kids. A lot of these kids probably drive over this Gordon Creek every day on their way to and from school on the bus, don't even realize that there's fish in there or what an important resource it is. So thanks to Trout Unlimited for educating these kids. Thanks to Justin and his crew for going out and taking the time to show these kids, what I'm sure was a cool day for them. So yeah, that's great. Just wanted to let them know about that. And what else? Jalen Riddle was in last night and closed out our spring seminar series. Jalen did a great job talking about kayak fishing the Madison chain. I want to thank him, of course, for coming in and taking the time to speak. I want to thank everybody that made it out. I want to thank everybody that made it out for all of our seminar series. We had a great lineup this year. Craig Amacher did a great job. Noah Humfeld, awesome job. And Jalen Riddle, too. Thanks to those guys for coming in and taking the time to educate folks, and thanks to everybody that made it out. It's really it's really heartening to see the great turnouts we have for those. And speaking of education, Noah Humfeld will be hosting his small boat salmon school here at the shop tomorrow from 9 to noon. If you have ever had any interest in learning about how you can fish salmon out on the Lake Michigan, this is the class for you, because there's definitely a learning curve to this stuff, and not everybody has like a giant 30-foot charter boat or anything that they can use. And Noah does it out of his 21-foot Ranger, and he's got them dialed out there. It's a great resource, great opportunity to get out and a little bit different fishing from what you might be used to. And anyway, he's still got room on his list for folks, $50 at the door, and he's got some awesome giveaways he's doing. I saw on his Instagram some great prizes and stuff. So if you want to check that out, it's going to be very educational. Noah, of course, always does a great job. So that'll be fun to see tomorrow here at the shop. The other announcement too on the internet side of things was, of course, fishing season opens on May 3rd. Of course, you've been able to fish for a lot of fish. You can't keep any until May 3rd, and then walleye and pike and all that opens. The DNR's got a reminder here on their website here about all the stuff going on around that. Make sure you can get your license online, of course, at the DNR website, or you can swing by the shop here. You're going to want to do that early. It's, opening day is always kind of nuts here. It's definitely nuts here, not kind of nuts, definitely nuts. And so swing in, get your license ahead of time, or do it online. If you've got spools you want spooled up, we got spooling service here. Do that this week or later next week. Don't come in opening day with 5 spools and expect it to be a quick turnaround. And we do have everything up on the shelves here, fully stocked, ready to rock and roll. for the summer season here, which is, of course, a very exciting time. As far as posters go on the front door, there's a blood drive up the street at the church on Tuesday, May 6th. Distill America, cool event if you're into spirits. May 31st down at Breeze Stevens Field. The Driftless Anglers having like a trout celebration day up there in Viroqua. They're a great fly shop. Definitely check them out if you're in that area. June 6th on the coming up here. And Kalen Hoggard, friend of the shop, a very talented competitive caster, is hosting a casting competition at that event. So if you want to get up there and check it out, we're helping sponsor that event. And yeah, it should be a great time. Test your casting skills and probably learn a lot too. And then a poster for Noah's Salmon School here as well. I think that pretty much does it for announcements. We can just get into the report. We had a little rain here and there, but otherwise the weather was pretty gorgeous last week here in Madison. A little rain this morning, but the weekend and all through next week looks like highs mostly in the 60s and continue dry to make make sure you make some plans to get out and do some fishing. It's going to be gorgeous. All the boat launches and piers are in around the chain. As far as like the fishing piers and like canoe piers, I know the city is working to getting all those up and running before the opener. So thanks to them for doing that. The Mendota buoy, I don't have it up right now, but it was reading 47 degrees at the surface. Actually, I can bring it up right here. It was reading 47.5 degrees at the surface and 45.9 a little lower. So the water's still pretty cool, and we'll be talking about that as we go through the report as kind of a theme here. Of course, game fish season is currently closed on all inland waters, so no fishing for walleye, pike, or muskie until May 3rd, like I said. But there's still a lot of great fishing opportunities to be had in our area with the water still being chilly. Shallow is the name of the game, no matter where you fish this time of year. Besides all the awesome pan fishing Madison has to offer, you've got the early catch and release bass season open, and folks are getting a lot of fish. I saw Noah Humfeld slammed them the other day on his Instagram. He had a great post there. Of course, you can keep walleye and pike on most rivers and flowages. We get a lot of folks coming through the shop saying that the post-spawn bite has been good. And who can forget about trout? Besides the insanely long steelhead run we've had up and down our state's east coast, the early inland trout season is open. Of course, it's only artificial lures you can use, and you have to release any fish you catch until the 3rd again. But it's a great time of year to get out and explore the many wonderful trout streams we have in our area before all the weeds and bugs and heat show up. As far as like some details here up on Cherokee, they are getting panfish up there. It's a little spotty. The bass action's been good if you can keep the pike off your line. A lot of small pike up there. That, of course, all those fish have to be immediately released if you catch them. Down to 113, they are getting there's some crappies and some bluegills swimming through there. The white bass have been running through there too. And of course, you always get, kind of a bonus walleye, pike, or something like that that'll come through. But yeah, the action down there has been good. And I guess the biggest news is that the cats are starting to show up. So that action is only going to improve probably until about mid-June is usually when they spawn. But yeah, that's a fantastic opportunity to get down and chase some big cats. As far as Mendota goes, with game fish season being closed, there aren't a ton of people getting out on Mendota. With the buoy back up, like we said, the water's pretty chilly still. So if you're fishing Mendota, you're going to want to focus on shallow water areas this time of year. So, like U Bay, North Bay, little inlets like Marshall and Spring Harbor, Dangle Bay, stuff like that are going to be probably your best chance to find fish. And like I said, bass too, early bass, folks have been getting a lot of smallmouth and some largies out here. And yeah, it's a great time of year to be out doing that. And a reminder that the area below the Tenney Park locks for about 200 yards down here, even with the tennis courts, is closed as a fish refuge. Otherwise, on Manona, kind of the same thing down there. I haven't heard a lot of people out on the main lake. Folks fishing bass have been doing well up shallow. Everything's up shallow right now. Areas like Turville and Weechawuk, formerly known as Squaw Bay, have been good for panfish. Also, the Winnequa lagoons. A lot of smaller gills, but it sounds like you have to sort through them. You can get some nicer ones, some shiners in there. Haven't heard anything about the crappies yet. They usually kind of show up for a day or two, but they are getting crappies down here on Monona Bay, mostly along the tracks and in the triangles over here. Minnows, live minnows, or minnow-shaped plastics under a bobber or a lighted bobber if you're fishing at night have been effective. Otherwise, bluegills during the day, spikes, waxworms, redworms, also on a small jig under a bobber is great. Lake Winger, like I said, the muskies are jumping over here at the dam, so that's always cool to check out. The area below the dam here down to Arboretum Drive is closed as a fish refuge. Otherwise, in the lake, Jalen was talking about it last night. Lake Winger has got some huge bass in it, and it's a great time of year to get out there. Pre-spawn, they got the feed bag on, and the weeds aren't bad. Winger always gets super weedy, so might be worth a look going over there if you want to get in on some early bass action. Otherwise, I don't know. I guess that's pretty much it for Lake Manona that I know anyway. You can launch at Lottis Park over here and get into Upper Mud where the panfish bite has been great. A lot of boats I've been hearing about up there, but a lot of folks catching fish. And also the bass are in shallow up here too. So fish those flats, get in on some of the awesome bass action in Upper Mud. Haven't heard a lot off Wabisa. Some good panfish up here in the north end of the lake. I've heard about a bunch of boats up there, so they must be smoking some gills. Same thing down on the south end of the lake. Shallow flats, that's where you're going to find fish. Area below Babcock closed as a fish refuge, as is the area below Lower Mud. Here is a fish refuge down to this like Drierson Road or whatever. Haven't heard much off Keeganza. Fish camp area up here on the north end of the lake is your best chance to find fish. They got that water coming in, and it's shallow flats. So, but anywhere you find shallow water is where I would be looking for fish. That pretty much does it for the chain. Down on the Rock River, sounds like the walleye have spawned out and are moving off the dams, and the white bass are moving in. So if you like white bass, the Indian Ford and Jefferson dams are great places to find those fish. Otherwise, if you're chasing walleyes, anywhere down from a lot of these dams, deeper holes are going to be where you're going to find walleyes hanging out. I haven't heard much of walleye action on Lake Koshkonong. It doesn't sound like they're back in the lake yet. I have heard, in the river here near Black Hawk Island, and then from the lake all the way up to Jefferson. It sounds like I was talking to a guy yesterday. If you can find, deeper corners and stuff, and especially with wood, that's where you're going to find some walleyes. Otherwise, I don't have much else to report other than on the Wisconsin River, same deal out there. Sounds like the smallie bite on the river itself, so downstream of like Prairie du Sac, down here, lower Wisconsin, has been real good. Those fish, of course, in pre-spawn mode, getting ready. If you got the feed bag on, getting ready to spawn. But otherwise, kind of the same thing on Wisconsin as the Rock. White bass are showing up at the dams. Walleyes are moving out, so check deeper holes downstream of all the dams. And that goes for Prairie du Sac, the Dells, Petenwell, Castle Rock, all of them. As far as Lake Wisconsin goes, I haven't heard about the walleyes moving back into the lake here yet. Panfish action's been pretty good in a lot of your shallow bays like Moon Valley, the Grade, Oakey, stuff like that. Fingers have all been holding fish, and that's just the way it is this time of year. Cold water, most of the lake, so the fish look for the warmest water, and that's where you're going to find them shallow. Haven't heard a ton off the Mississippi River. The perch runs down, the walleyes are spawned out, but the bite has been good. I know the Clements folks over here in Genoa at the barge have been posting a lot of great walleye, pike, stuff like a sauger that they're catching over there. Otherwise, like I mentioned in the intro, the steelhead run is still happening over here in Milwaukee, which is a really long run for what I'm used to anyway. So there are still fish in the river. I was talking to a buddy of mine Wednesday night at Drinking with Scissors, which also wrapped up this week, and thanks to those guys for hosting an awesome event. But anyway, he was over there Wednesday, got some fish. I got a nice steelhead I posted Easter Sunday. So yeah, that's still happening. Get over there and enjoy it while you can. With this warmer weather coming, that action will be winding down here pretty quick. Coho are moving up the East Coast. They're getting them out on the main lake. I've heard about, down in Kenosha, Racine, and I maybe out from Milwaukee. I think they are getting some out from Milwaukee. But anyway, those fish move up the East Coast as the water warms. So I'll be trying to keep you posted on that. As far as the steelhead go, if you're fit running flies, colorful, flashy streamers if you're swinging stuff. Otherwise, if you're just drifting through runs, buggy nymphs with an egg below like a bead is what works well for me and a lot of folks. Otherwise, on the spinning gear side of things, spawn sacks, spinners, jerk baits all work well for the steelhead. And we do have steelhead offerings here at the shop. Got beads, and I'm out of spawn sacks actually right now. This is an older picture, but swing it if you want to get in on it. It's definitely happening. And the trout fishing is also, early season catch and release. Most people don't really keep trout anyway, so it's a great time to get out and explore streams, like I said in the intro, before all the heat and bugs and grass show up. And if you're, we'll just talk, and get into the happy fly day part of our report here. If you're running nymphs and stuff, it's hard to beat a woolly bugger. Pink squirrels are still great this time of year, while there's still things that look like eggs. I'm not sure what it is about a pink squirrel that makes it so awesome, but they catch fish year round. Otherwise, as far as other nymphs go, it's hard to beat scuds, hare's ears. There's a traditional hare's ear. I like the look of this black one here too. Otherwise, beadhead pheasant tails, caddis nymphs are also great. The caddis are hatching, which is also a very exciting time of year. A lot of fish looking up right now. And so, yeah, dry flies are a great option and very important to have in your box as well. So on the caddis side of things, elk hair caddis is great. Keep them a little darker this time of year. The caddis tend to be a little darker in color and get lighter as the summer goes on. Same thing with the blue-winged olives. Lots of blue-winged olives popping off. You got everything from a parachute to traditional flies, but also flimps, which aren't really a dry fly, but aren't really a wet fly. They ride low in the water, just under the film, and can be also very effective if you see fish just kind of sipping instead of, full rising to fish. But yeah, swing in the shop here, pick up some flies, and get out there on the water. I guess that pretty much does it for the report. Please post your comments and catches below. Love to hear what's going on out there, what people are doing. Do feel free to call the shop at 608-241-4225 if you want us to expand on anything we discussed here. Otherwise, I wish you luck. Let's get pumped up for the opener next Saturday, and we will talk to you next week. Thanks for tuning in.